Yo guys, I'm gonna try to record this video as fast as I can because it's raining outside and I have nowhere else to film. But what about a change in scenery? It's not bad, huh? I like it. This video, it is a banger. I promise you, after this, you're gonna feel more masculine, you're gonna feel more like a man, and you're gonna feel way more confident with handling bullies. Bullies are part of life. Not everyone's nice. Not everyone can control their emotions and put their anger to work. They sometimes release that anger by picking on others. Mostly picking on the weak people. The kids that are not that social. Maybe they're awkward. Sometimes, worst case scenarios, maybe the kids that have some kind of disability or are special in some way. And although this is sad and although it's wrong and we should never justify it, it's a part of life and it's something that realistically it's not going to go away. There's always going to be people who don't know how to deal with their problems and don't know how to properly manage their emotions, and that's all it is. It's the bullies are mostly because they're insecure. The biggest bullies are the most insecure, and the reason for this is because there's no other reason to want to hit someone or want to pick on someone or want to feel superior to someone. It's because you don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel superior about yourself. You're insecure about yourself. You think that you're not worthy. So to feel worthy, you pick on kids that are weaker than you, or maybe are not as smart as you. And by doing this, you get this feeling of, I am better than someone, therefore I am worthy. But although it's sad, that is kind of not even their fault. It's kind of like the way that they were raised and the way that they came up in this world and the upbringings that they had. But although it might not be fair for them to be raised the wrong way, it's still they still have to take accountability for their actions and for hurting other people. There's a very small percentage of people who actually bully just because they like it. I don't know. I don't think there's actually any percentage of people like that. Think about it. But basically, I want to talk to you about how you can handle bullies, how I've handled bullies, and how to show yourself and show the people around you who you are and why you shouldn't be messed with. And I'm not saying go fight and just try and beat him up or something, because chances are if he's bullying you, he's probably gonna beat you up. But I want to talk to you about my experience with bullies. I was bullied from 5th grade to from kindergarten, till about maybe 3rd to 4th grade. I was bullied by this one kid. I don't know his name, I'm not gonna say it anyway, but I was bullied by him, and he would just it was like standard bullying. Like, it was more physical, but he would like walk through the halls and just push me, or like push me to the floor and just like laugh and go with his friends, and I would be just there like, what the heck? But and now that I'm in high school, I don't feel like I've gotten bullied because I stand up for myself. And obviously I was a little kid then, I didn't understand this, but now that I'm in this route of self-improvement and becoming more masculine and becoming more assertive with and comfortable with who I am, I realized that the best way to handle bullies is to immediately shut down the disrespect. If you immediately shut it down, it doesn't matter what it is. it's been normalized for people to instantly just like talk shit to each other and then keep moving on. Okay, yeah, maybe if you're with your friends, which you have trust in and you have a connection with, and it's cool, like I'll like mess around with my cousin and my brothers and everything. But when it comes to like some random kid that you don't really know, just comes up to you, oh, you're this, you're that. Not, I don't swear anymore, so I'm not gonna say what he's saying, but just he comes saying, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. Like when he starts to insult you. That's how it starts. First, he starts talking like shit about you, and that's how it all starts. And that's where you need to cut it off. Soon as it starts speaking like badly about you or like insulting you, you immediately shut it down by not by fighting, not by just hopping on and just beating him up, but by seriously telling him that he's not going to talk to you. You're not going to let him talk to you that way. And to put him in a position where he has to realize and he has to think if he wants to continue bullying you or if he'd rather go bully someone else who's not going to like tell you to stop bullying him or something. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that if someone disrespects you, don't disrespect them back. Don't let it slide. Not once, not twice. Don't let it slide at all. You immediately tell them that it's not okay with you and that never do it again. Like, demand respect. Once you do that, the chances of you getting bullied even more go down. And most people that talk bad and insult others are mostly never going to fight. They just talk it out and they just keep talking bad, but they don't really want to fight. They just want to mess around with you. So when you like immediately, okay, my phone was dead. So when you immediately like shut it down and you like aggressively, it's not like aggressively like I'm trying to hit you, but aggressively like, hey, don't talk to me like that. If you do it in a deep voice and like say it like assertive and say it like you mean it, don't you ever talk to me like that. Like, relax. I'm not the guy to talk to like that. If you give him that aggressive but like calm essence of like, you will not disrespect me, he is more likely to not disrespect you. He's more likely to like not go on further through that barrier. And if he does, then that's where most of the time you kind of have to fight. I'm not insinuating or telling anyone here, YouTube, I'm not telling anyone to fight. I'm not telling anyone to hit people or hurt someone, but I am telling you that if someone hits you or someone does some sort of like disrespectful act towards you, which is physical, you better, without thinking, swing on them like there's no tomorrow. Because once you let yourself get bullied physically, first you block out the mental, because it all starts with the mental, the shit talk. Then it goes down to the physical. So if you don't stop it up here and it goes down to the physical, if you don't stop it here, it's going to continue to get even worse. You should already be stopping it right here. But if for whatever reason he pushes that physical barrier where he starts pushing you or he starts like pushing you around, you cannot take that. Not once. If you take that once, it's going to keep happening again and again and again and again. And that's where people get seriously hurt mentally, physically. That's when kids want to kill themselves because they're getting physically, mentally bullied and just getting depressed because of it, because these kids that are insecure are making these other kids that are weaker than them feel like they're nothing, feeling like they're worthless, feeling like the bullies. And you have to you have to handle it like a man. You have to not let it go past that mental like shit talk stage. And if it does go from that, because maybe he's like, oh, he's like kind of a friend, but like I don't really like him, but like I'm not trying to like be like all aggressive and stuff. If you let it get to down here, you are going to regret it. Once that barrier is touched, I promise you that if you don't swing, and if you let him keep hitting you, if you let him keep hurting you, it will get worse. I'm not telling you to swing, but swing. And I'm saying this in the most respectful, well, not respectful, but in the most masculine way I can say it. Don't start a fight, don't start the problem. But if someone is genuinely being aggressive towards you and you genuinely think he's gonna hit you or he's gonna start something, if you have to smack him first, smack him first. Because that shows to them that you're not to be messed with, and that is gonna prevent them from ever bullying you at all. At all. If you hit them back, once they hit you first, they will never mess with you again. They might shit talk you again and again, but they'll never try and fight you again, because they know you're not easy prey. They know you're not this guy I can just mess around with without any struggle. He's not gonna feel superior to you if you don't let his shit slide. So, rule number 1: never, ever tolerate disrespect from a bully, and never ever tolerate physical aggression and like pushing you and all that by a bully. Once you let that happen, the bully will continue till a point where it's gonna ruin you so bad mentally that you won't even know how to handle it. So handle bullies like a man. Be assertive, be dominant, be masculine. Try your hardest to de-escalate the situation. Don't go out there looking for a fight and wanting him to disrespect you. Don't go there provoking him for a fight. You need to handle it like a man. You talk to him. If you have the confidence, at least like that little bit of confidence to talk to him. Hey, I don't like the way you talk to me, and I'm not gonna take that like man to man, like respectfully. Don't talk to me that way, blah 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 blah. If you put this barrier inside of that that like relationship of like a bully with like his, I don't know, you can't let him disrespect you, because it's gonna keep going on and it's going to hurt you a lot in the long run. So de-escalate as much as you can. Never tolerate disrespect. And if sometimes you're gonna have to get in a fight, and if you have to get in a fight, give it all you got. Give it all that you got, so that he remembers. He remembers how much of a struggle it was to try and bully you. After that, he's not gonna want to bully you. He's not gonna care to bully you, because he's gonna be picking on the next kid who is weaker. And once you're strong enough to not let people bully you, the next step is to be strong enough to not accept others bullying. Others getting bullied. Sorry, I just spaced out. You can't, once you recover from this where you can't get bullied because you're assertive, you don't let anyone talk to you that way, now you can protect the other people that bully's trying to bully. And that's gonna get you in a lot of fights, maybe. A lot of verbal fights, because that bully's not gonna want to mess with you. But once you have that strength to not get bullied yourself, you should always stick for others. You should always stand up for others, because some people don't have the courage and don't have the guidance to overcome bullying, and it could really save a life. And the worst thing in the world that you could possibly feel is to know that you could have done something to save someone's life, but you didn't. Maybe you were scared, maybe you didn't want drama, or maybe you didn't want this, but you kept seeing that kid getting bullied. You kept seeing his mental health go down the drain, and you just saw it and let it happen. And if you let it happen, you're part of that bullying. You're part of that death. Kid suicides himself because he's been bullied, and you know it, and you didn't do anything, knowing that you could have stopped it. That will haunt you at night. And I hope whoever is watching this and that has happened to, I'm sorry that guilt haunts you, but you deserve it. And I know that might sound cruel and horrible to say, but the best thing those people can do from now is to never let it happen again. So don't be one of those kids that could have prevented it, but didn't, and I regret it. If you see someone getting bullied, if you see someone getting picked on, don't let them get picked on. Be a man. Protect. Take that guy under his wing. Maybe he's weird, maybe he's awkward, maybe he doesn't fit in, but we're all humans, so we should all love each other and want to protect each other from bad. So if you see someone who is struggling, who is really getting hurt emotionally, mentally, physically, the most honorable and most masculine and incredible thing that you can actually do is to protect that person and to never let people feel hopeless and feel unworthy, because that's really what you're doing. If you let that kid get bullied, you're basically saying, okay, I know that if I don't do anything, he's gonna have bad mental health and he's gonna want to probably kill himself. So I'm just gonna let him get to that low point. Who in their right mind would ever want that for someone? I know I wouldn't. And honestly, if there's a friend of yours that is maybe getting bullied, if you're that friend that just stands by and does nothing, you should reconsider yourself, and your friends should reconsider friends. If you're getting bullied and you have a friend who doesn't even want to, he doesn't even care to protect you, or doesn't get mad when you get bullied, that's not a real friend. If someone were to ever touch my brother, or touch my cousin, or even slightly shove them, I would be there in an instant, and I would not think twice about knocking that guy's lights out. And I'm not gonna be here thinking, oh, I'm a tough guy, yeah, I'm big and strong. I'm not even that big of a guy. I'm 5'4", 123 pounds. That's me. And I would put up a fight. I would genuinely, I believe this in my heart, and I can promise you this, that if someone who is twice or 3 times my size tries to start some shit with my brother or my cousin or a friend of mine, I would jump on that like that. I don't care if I get my face destroyed. I don't care if I go to the hospital from a beating that bad, but I'm just not gonna stand there and be like, oh no, don't fight. I'm jumping in there. And that's that fire and that masculine urge to be dominant. And if you don't have that as a man, you need to work on finding why you don't have that. And it's because there's a belief in your mind that maybe you're not capable of being that way, or maybe you don't want to feel that way, or maybe you feel like you'll be uncontrollable if you're that way. But if you learn to master this skill of being dominant and being assertive and demanding respect for yourself, no one's ever gonna mess with you, and you're always gonna be respected for that. Nobody has stand up to bullies is looked down upon. They're always glorified, they're always respected, and they're always loved for their courageous and brave acts. So be brave for yourself and be brave for others, because sometimes people don't know how to be brave for themselves, and it's hard to learn that. So be there for others. Don't give up. Work hard every single day to become the best version of yourself and become the man that your children would be proud of to call their father.